What's up, y'all? I'm back with another work experience story. Um, so last time I talked about when I worked at Kroger. Okay. After that, see, as I go on, it takes a little bit more for me to remember what my next job was. I've had a few. Because I know after I left Kroger, I went to Montana State. It was the first time I went to college. And then at first, I was like, well, where did I work in Georgia after I left Montana State? And actually, I went to Chicago after I left Montana State. So I believe at that point I went with a staffing agency because if you've been to Chicago, unless you got some kind of high end degree, it's hard to get a job there. Anyway, I went with a staffing agency and I did this like telemarketing kind of thing for schools. I think the company that I was working for through the staffing agency I was with is called CRC Admissions or something Admissions. Anyway, like it was a okay job. It's basically like a temporary setup because I think the company was still trying to see if they would continue in business or something. I forget exactly what the situation was, but it was decent. You had a lot of people coming out from Chicago to Schaumburg, which is like 2 or 3 bus rides plus a ride on the train. So it took a while to get out there. And when I was working there, it was winter, so it was cold on top of all that stuff. You got to wake up early to get all the buses and the trains. And then you still got to walk through snow and whatnot once you finally get to the bus stop in Schaumburg to get to the place. But it was cool. I mean, my supervisor was kind of iffy. She was kind of uptight and all that stuff. But she also kind of struck me as someone that was like an ass kisser and shit like that. So she was kind of uptight because she's trying to impress, I guess, whoever her boss was. And then that's the crazy part. You have these people that go out of the way to be ass kissers and whatnot. And like in this situation, because I haven't heard anything else from that company after I left, even now. I don't think that building, that office building space that they were in is even, I think it's up for lease. And I'm not saying, like, that's not because of COVID or whatever. Like, even before COVID kicked off earlier this year, I still hadn't heard nothing. So I don't know. The people there were all right. No one that really stood out. Everyone kind of minded their own business. Was in Chicago. It's kind of, that's not always common. Um, the most memorable part of it for me was because like I don't throw up that often. At that point I hadn't thrown up in like 10 or 11 years. So I had threw up in the office was the first time I've thrown up in like almost 11 years. You know, this guy had let me, excuse me, this guy had given me a slice of his pizza. I guess it was pork on it, either that or it was food poisoning. And I felt myself, like after I ate it, I felt myself like I had to throw up. And like, I was waiting until I felt like I knew for sure and I was going to go to the bathroom. But I must have waited too long because like when I felt it, I got up and went to the bathroom. But I got to the bathroom door and that's where, I threw up at. And I didn't clean it up. And like I had left early because I told that supervisor, you know, I just threw up and, I think I need to go home or something like that. Like the next day, she was like, "Make sure you clean up your mess." A lot of people were mad about that, but I had just thrown up, so I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh man, I made a mess. Anyway, so that I think the name of the staffing company was Roth Staffing, or it is Roth Staffing. So I don't know. That one was like 50-50 because I like getting paid, but everything else was kind of average. Anyway, so that was my first work experience with a staffing company. So I'll end it here, and I'll catch y'all next time with another one of my work experience stories. Peace out.